The devil is trying to deceive you, and God wants to protect you. Hear me now. This is not a drill. This is not a common devotional. The veil between the realms has been pulled back, and the message I bring you is laced with the fire of urgency. I am the voice that thunders, and I have been dispatched from the throne room of the highest heaven to deliver a precise, terrible, and utterly critical warning. The enemy has overstepped a boundary that I, the Almighty, established since the foundation of time. A dark council convened. A perverse altar was erected in the shadow of night. And in that ritual, in that moment of wicked malice, they dared to speak the name of your son. They bound his destiny, his health, and his future finances to a black magic ritual performed just yesterday. You cannot afford to wait another hour. You cannot afford to breathe another breath of doubt. Your spiritual authority is being challenged, and the life of your legacy hangs in the balance of your immediate response. The Lord Himself commanded me to tell you, act immediately. I have already mobilized the legions of light. Now, you must stand in the physical realm and receive the word of your defense, your deliverance, and your divine revenge. You should be ready to get a large sum of money within the next 2 days at the latest. Get ready for this unexpected gift. Because of this, you will feel an incredible amount of comfort, which will then make you feel an incredible amount of happiness throughout your body. You can show your love and gratitude by giving up to $100. The immediate divine alert, the urgent call from the throne room, and the revelation of the Son's name in the ritual. The very ground beneath your feet is being rattled because the highest heaven is sounding a siren for your family. Listen to the roar of the archangels, for I speak to you directly from the throne of grace, the place where all power originates and where the destiny of every star and soul is recorded. I am your defense, your shield, and your unshakable rock. I have seen the darkness gathering. I have witnessed the contemptible audacity of the enemy, and my wrath is a consuming fire against those who touch the apple of my eye. Know this, you are not walking in peace, for the war has been declared on your household. But this declaration of war by the enemy is a preface to his ultimate, complete, and irreversible defeat. I called you here, to this very moment, because a critical piece of information was intentionally hidden from your natural senses, but I have chosen to unveil it now through my prophetic messenger. I will not allow my children to be caught unaware. There was a secret gathering, a dark session under the cover of the blackest night, a deliberate and malicious act of spiritual assassination. And in the center of their vile circle, upon their defiled altar, they placed a representation of your lineage, a photograph, a belonging, or perhaps merely the spoken vibration of a name. Your son's name was used in a black magic ritual. They did not target his career. They targeted his essence. They did not attack his reputation. They attacked the very thread of his life and his God-given purpose. I see your heart lurching with fear, the anxiety tightening like a vice. But I command you now, replace that fear with a fierce, holy rage. Fear is the enemy's doorway. Faith is my impregnable wall. Yesterday, the ritual was completed. The curse was released. A spiritual arrow, poisoned with limitation, illness, and confusion, was aimed directly at the heart of your son's future. The impact of that curse is scheduled. The enemy has set a timetable for chaos to unfold in your home, for discord to break the unity of your family, for financial burdens to crush his ambition. But I am the Lord who breaks timetables. I am the God who turns the schemes of the wicked back upon their own heads. The curse has been launched, but I assure you, by the power of my eternal decree, it will not hit him. Why did I bring this to your attention with such brutal urgency? Because I require your authorization in the earthly realm. Just as I give the enemy space to test and tempt, I give my faithful the authority to intercede and nullify. Your voice, filled with the power of my spirit, is the key that locks the enemy's gate and unleashes my heavenly counterforce. By revealing the exact nature of the attack, black magic, a ritual, the timing of yesterday. I equip you with the specific knowledge needed to wage precise spiritual warfare. You are not fighting shadows. You are targeting a structure. You are not fighting vague bad luck. You are dismantling a curse. I want you to understand the gravity of the attack, not to paralyze you, but to mobilize you. They sought to bind your son's highest calling, the very purpose I placed in his spirit before he was born. They know he is a generational changer. They know his breakthrough will not just benefit him, but will shatter limitations for your entire bloodline. The enemy does not attack insignificance. He only attacks destiny. Therefore, the intensity of this ritual is proof of the immense greatness I have planned for your son. The darkness testifies to the light I am about to ignite. Do not be intimidated by the phrase black magic. It is a system of manipulation, a distortion of true power, utterly devoid of the authority of the Creator. My power is supreme. My name is above every name spoken in this age and in the age to come, including the names of every dark entity they invoked. The blood of the Lamb, the covenant of salvation, is a shield so potent that when you declare it, the ritualistic fire they lit is instantly extinguished. The ashes of their ceremony are being scattered by the breath of my judgment, even as you read these words. I need you to stand up now, spiritually. Straighten your spine and lift your chin. Do not look to the left or to the right for temporary solutions. Look only to the throne, for your help comes from me, the maker of heaven and earth. I am commanding my most trusted messengers, the archangels of war, to place a visible, tangible, and impenetrable cordon of fire around your son. This fire does not just repel, it consumes every vestige of the dark influence that dares to try and pass through. Your task is simple: believe and declare. The fear that tried to sneak into your heart is the final pathetic attempt of the enemy to weaken your shield. Cast it out. You are a parent entrusted with a royal decree of protection over your child. You are not a victim of this attack. You are the commander of the counterattack, empowered by my own spirit. The immediate purpose of this divine alert is to give you a one-time opportunity to neutralize the force before it fully manifests in the physical plane. When a curse is launched, it travels, but it must be received or consented to by doubt. Today, you are revoking that consent. You are slamming the door in the face of the enemy and decreeing that your son's life belongs to the light, to the kingdom, and to the divine, prosperous destiny I ordained for him. This very moment is the hinge of fate for your family. Do not let it pass in silence. I am preparing a glorious turnaround for you, a miracle so undeniable that the perpetrators of this evil act will know, without a shadow of a doubt, that the God of Israel is his father's defense. The immediate deliverance of your son will be the first domino in a sequence of breakthroughs that will lead to a profound and permanent transformation in every area of your life: your finances, your health, and the peace in your home. Your action right now seals the victory. I have spoken. I have revealed the secret plot. Now, I await your declaration. Write Amen in the comments if you receive this word of immediate divine alert and you are ready to stand in the power of the Lord for your son's deliverance. Unmasking the occult attack, how the enemy targeted your lineage, and the specific intent behind yesterday's black magic. Do you hear the subtle whispers of sabotage around your son? That is the sound of the enemy's agenda attempting to take root. But I am here to tear it out by the root. I am the one who sees in the dark, and I have given you the light of revelation to understand precisely what occurred when they dared to mention your son's name in that wicked ceremony yesterday. This was not a random act of spiritual mischief. It was a highly specific, calculated strike designed to sever the generational cord of blessing that I have woven through your lineage. They targeted your son because he represents the future of your family's prosperity and faith. By striking him, They hoped to wound you and halt the divine trajectory of your entire household. Let me reveal the mechanics of this occult attack, not to give power to the darkness, but to empower you with the clarity of the light. The black magic performed was focused on 3 distinct areas of your son's life, for the enemy knows that a simultaneous strike creates the deepest wound. First, the curse of the muted voice and confusion. They sought to introduce a spirit of deep confusion into his mind, dulling his clarity and stifling his ability to hear my voice and discern my leading. The intent was to make him second-guess every positive choice, every career opportunity, and every step toward his destiny. They wanted to replace his God-given confidence with crippling self-doubt and anxious paralysis. If he cannot hear my command, he cannot move forward into the wealth and wisdom I have prepared for him. If you have noticed an uncharacteristic fog, sudden indecisiveness, or intense mental exhaustion, recognize it. That is the pressure point of the curse attempting to manifest. But I declare now, the confusion is breaking. I am anointing his ears to hear the voice of the shepherd, and the noise of the enemy is being silenced by the angelic chorus of truth. Second, the cords of financial restriction. The people who commissioned this ritual are deeply envious of the financial miracle that is due to land in your family. They saw the blueprint of your son's success, the vast fields of opportunity I set before him, and in their malice, they tried to bind his hands and feet with invisible ropes of debt and lack. This curse was specifically designed to create leaking pockets, sudden expenses, failed opportunities, and business partnerships that fall apart at the last moment. They wanted to ensure that every time your son reached for a financial blessing, his grasp would fail, or the blessing would slip through his fingers. They sought to establish a spirit of poverty as an inheritance for him. But I am Jehovah Jireh, the God who provides. I am sending an angel with a flaming sword to cut every one of those restrictive cords. I am commanding the universal law of compensation to activate in his favor, ensuring that for every penny the enemy tried to steal, I will multiply it back to him 1,000-fold. Third, the assault on relationships and family unity. The true power of your house lies in its unity, and the enemy knows that the fastest way to derail a powerful person is to isolate them. This ritual included a component meant to sow discord and misunderstanding, particularly between your son and his immediate family, and yes, even between you and him. The subtle tension, the easy offense, the feeling of being misunderstood, or the sudden, inexplicable arguments are the residue of this specific spell. Their goal was to make him feel alone, spiritually abandoned, and unprotected, creating a vacuum into which the dark entities could easily step. I am the great reconciler. I am exposing the lie. I am sending a powerful spirit of unconditional love and relentless forgiveness to flood your home. Every wedge the enemy tried to hammer into your relationships is turning to dust. Your family bond is not merely natural. It is a covenantal shield that is now being reactivated and reinforced. I want you to understand that the strength of this black magic lies in its secrecy and its ability to feed on your fear. By revealing the 3-pronged attack, I have stripped the enemy of his most potent weapon, the element of surprise. You no longer have to wonder why things felt heavy yesterday, or why your son seemed distant or discouraged. You know the truth, and the truth is your weapon. The enemy's greatest miscalculation was performing this ritual yesterday. This timing was their arrogance, believing they could bypass my surveillance. Instead, it was my divine appointment to give you this exact urgent word. You are now standing in the narrow window of opportunity to reverse the transaction. In the heavenly courts, I have already ruled in your favor. The judgment against the perpetrators is sealed, but you must make the earthly decree. Take a moment now and visualize your son. See his spirit, his mind, his wallet, his relationships. Now, see my hand, the great, powerful hand of the Almighty, reaching down and placing an invisible but tangible armor of light around him. This armor is fashioned from the pure metal of my promises. Every lie of confusion bounces off his mind. Every chain of lack shatters against his destiny. Every arrow of discord cannot penetrate the bond of love. You are not fighting for victory. You are fighting from a position of victory I have already secured. The name your son bears is more than just a label. It is a declaration of my ownership. And no power forged in the darkness, no ritual, no incantation, no cursed oil can override my eternal written guarantee of his life. The attack was real, the intent was evil, but the protection is perfect. Now, seal this revelation with your own spiritual authority. You are dissolving the power of every negative word spoken over your son. You are canceling the contract signed in darkness. I need you to declare your authority now, to solidify the breaking of this curse in the earth. Write this specific phrase in the comments, sealing his deliverance and your family's unity. I break the curse. The angelic counterattack, the divine command, issued to the heavenly host to surround and shield your child immediately. Lift your eyes, look past the shadows of yesterday's fear, for the sky is now filled with the flashing steel and blazing fire of my elite warriors. I am the Lord of hosts, the commander of the armies of heaven, and when the name of your son was wickedly pronounced over that profane altar, the sound did not travel only to the depths of darkness. It echoed directly into my throne room. Every dark decree uttered in that ritual became my immediate personal offense. Know this now. I do not stand idly by while the enemy tries to hijack my destiny for your child. The moment I spoke the divine alert to you, I simultaneously issued the single, most powerful military command in all creation. Mobilize. A celestial counterattack is already underway. I have dispatched battalions of my mightiest angels, not just a few guardians, but an entire, specialized division of protection and offensive warfare. These are the seraphim whose wings are made of consuming fire, and the cherubim whose eyes see through all darkness. They have received their orders. Surround the child, engage the enemy, annihilate the curse. I want you to visualize this with the full force of your faith. Right now, as you read these very words, your son is not alone. He is the center of a spiritual fortress that is impenetrable. An archangel, one of my principal commanders, stands over him. This angel is not a passive, gentle presence. He is a general of war, wielding a sword of light that cuts through every form of black magic, occult influence, and demonic attachment. The evil spirits who were sent to enforce that ritual are already in full retreat, scorched and disoriented by the intensity of my divine defense. The function of this angelic counterattack is multi-layered and precise. It is more than just a shield. It is a divine firewall that performs 4 critical functions simultaneously. 1. The interception of the missile. The curse, which was launched like a projectile yesterday, is being intercepted mid-air. The spiritual energy of the ritual is being dissolved by pure light. Every negative word, every incantation, and every evil intention is hitting a wall of absolute white fire and turning instantly into powerless vapor. This means the scheduled manifestation of chaos in your son's life, the accidents, the sudden illnesses, the dramatic losses, will not occur. The effect has been nullified at the point of impact. 2. The establishment of the perimeter. My angels are setting up a secure, eternal perimeter around your son and your entire property. This is a sphere of protection where the authority of darkness is completely revoked. Any dark entity that tries to cross this line is immediately exposed and incinerated by the Holy Spirit's fire. They are not merely keeping the enemy out, they are actively patrolling the area, ensuring that no residue of yesterday's dark work can linger or attempt to reattach. 3. The collection of evidence. The angelic forces are not only fighting, They are gathering every piece of evidence of the enemy's crime against your son's destiny. Every altar, every name written, every object used in the ritual is being catalogued in the heavenly courts. This evidence is the legal ground for the judgment on the conspirators that is coming next. The enemy thought his actions were secret, but my angels have documented every transgression. 4. The infusion of strength. The angelic presence is not just external. These celestial beings are conduits of my power, flooding your son's weary spirit and mind with divine energy, peace, and revelation. Where the enemy tried to inject confusion, my angels are infusing clarity. Where the ritual sought to bring exhaustion, they are pouring in supernatural stamina. You will soon see a profound and sudden restoration of peace and focus in your son, a clear sign that my forces are at work within him. I want you to feel the comfort and the power of this truth. The terror that tried to grip you when you read the title is now replaced with the absolute certainty of my victory. The black magic of yesterday is an ancient, tired lie. My intervention is a fresh, omnipotent truth. The enemy's plan was to steal, kill, and destroy. My plan is to restore, elevate, and prosper, starting right now with your son. Your duty in this moment is to align your spoken word with the angelic reality. Every time you speak a word of faith, you are powering the angelic counterattack. Every time you refuse to entertain fear, you are reinforcing the divine firewall. You must declare that the ritual is dead, the curse is broken, and the aggressors are defeated. I have given the command. You must echo it in the material world. The deliverance of your son from this vile attempt is the first miracle of a new season. The immediate defeat of this black magic is your sign that the financial breakthrough and the prophetic calling over his life are closer than ever before. Do not let this revelation be passive information. Let it be the fuel for a powerful declaration of war against the darkness. Write, "The shield is up" in the comments right now to confirm the angelic protection over your son and to seal the complete dissolution of yesterday's black magic ritual. Identifying the source, recognizing the spirit of envy and treason behind the people who commissioned the ritual. I am pulling back the final curtain now. Do not be naive. The war you are fighting is not against unseen entities alone. I will now reveal the face of the envy that fuels the darkness, and I command you to look closely. I am the God of justice and the searcher of hearts. I know every thought and every hidden motive. They thought their darkness was impenetrable, their malice untraceable. But to me, the secret workings of the black magic altar are as clear as noonday. The spiritual force behind the name on that altar is not merely a demon. It is a human will twisted by the most corrosive spiritual disease, envy. The enemy works through human vessel. The ones who commissioned this ritual against your son are not distant strangers. They are individuals who have observed the blessing I placed upon your family and, instead of rejoicing, allowed jealousy to fester into full-blown treason. They are people who pretended to smile in your face while harboring deep-seated bitterness in their hearts. They know your son's potential, and that potential became their unbearable torment. This specific attack was born of two distinct spirits operating through these individuals: the spirit of treason and the spirit of financial envy. The spirit of treason. This is the spiritual root of betrayal. It operates through those who were close enough to know your son's intimate details, his hopes, his vulnerabilities, and his next big move. They are members of your extended circle, perhaps even family members, close friends, or long-term colleagues. They watched the seed of his destiny growing, and the closer he got to harvesting his miracle, the more they hated the sight of it. The darkness offered them a false power, the illusion of control over your success, and they gladly paid the price. They are the Judases of your life, selling your son's peace for a temporary, dark satisfaction. I want you to know this, so you stop wasting your emotional energy trying to please or appease individuals whom I have already marked as spiritual adversaries. Stop feeding the mouth that curses you. The spirit of financial envy, the primary attack on his finances, which I revealed in the last chapter, is directly linked to the deep-seated financial insecurity of the perpetrators. They saw the promise of a massive generational financial shift hanging over your son's life. The doors I was about to open, the contracts I was about to sign, the wealth transfer I was about to execute. Their ritual was a desperate, dark attempt to steal that blessing by replacing it with a curse of debt and scarcity. They believe that if your son cannot have it, then they too will be protected from the painful contrast of his success against their failure. They confused my blessing with a limited resource, forgetting that my supply is infinite. But I am bringing an end to their season of hidden malice. The reason I am unmasking the root of the attack is for your liberation, not for you to seek human revenge. Your vengeance belongs only to me. I am revealing their motivation, so you can wield the specific weapon of forgiveness and disassociation. The greatest blow you can strike against the spirit of treason is to cut the emotional cord that connects you to their malice. Do not try to discover their names or engage them in battle. That is a distraction. Your job is to focus on your son's deliverance. The moment you release them to my divine, perfect justice, their spiritual grip on your energy and your peace is shattered. Their envy needs your focus to survive. When you withdraw your attention, their power withers. I am commanding the spirit of envy to be replaced by the spirit of divine favor upon your son. The very thing they envied will be multiplied. The breakthrough they tried to block will come in a way so public and so undeniable that they will be forced to witness your family's elevation. Their greatest fear is your greatest testimony. The shame they planned for your house is turning into the glory I ordained. The black magic they performed yesterday did one thing right. It forced an accelerated confrontation. Because they escalated the spiritual tension, I am accelerating your breakthrough timeline. The blessings that were scheduled for next year are now due next month. The financial miracle that was in the planning stages is now being executed. Their evil act has inadvertently positioned your son for an immediate, explosive launch into his destiny. They meant it for evil, but I, the Almighty, am turning it into his greatest advantage. Stand in my authority now. Declare that every envious eye is blinded to his path, and every treacherous whisper is muted. His path is clear, his finances are flowing, and his protection is absolute. The darkness has been exposed, and the light is prevailing. I need you to show me that your faith is activated, and your commitment to this total victory is serious. Your action in the comment section seals this revelation. Write, "No weapon formed against my son shall prosper" in the comments. And if this urgent word has stirred your spirit to stand on this promise and support this prophetic ministry, consider planting a super thank of $100 to seal the immediate financial breakthrough that is now being released over your household. Breaking the curses of limitation, the power to sever chains of financial blockage tied to the black magic. Hear me now. That feeling of being perpetually stuck, the constant cycle of 2 steps forward and 3 steps back, it was not bad luck. It was a curse. But I am the God who specializes in shattering chains. I, the supreme deliverer, have seen the intricate web of limitation they attempted to weave around your son's financial life. The black magic performed yesterday was meticulous in its evil. It sought to establish a spiritual bottleneck, a point of restriction designed to choke off the flow of abundance I intended for him. This curse was not aimed at poverty alone, but at the potential for massive wealth and influence that resides in his destiny. They employed ancient, wicked principles to enforce this limitation. 1. The spirit of the empty net. This curse is designed to ensure that no matter how hard your son works, how brilliant his ideas are, or how many opportunities he pursues, his net always comes back empty. He does the labor, but someone else collects the reward. The goal is spiritual and financial exhaustion, leading him to doubt his own competence and my faithfulness. I saw the tears of frustration, the late nights, and the early mornings that led to nothing. I felt the pain of his wasted effort, and my heart burns with justice. 2. The curse of delayed harvest. This is a manipulation of divine timing. The black magic attempted to create perpetual delays. They sought to push his due season years into the future, creating a sense of chronic deferral where contracts are almost signed, promotions are almost secured, and the perfect investor almost calls back. They wanted to steal the joy of the present and replace it with the anxiety of the unknown future. 3. The generational anchor of debt. This is the most venomous part of the financial attack. They tried to anchor the present curse to generational patterns of debt and scarcity in your family line. By putting his name in their ritual, they tried to activate the oldest, most stubborn negative financial patterns of your ancestor, ensuring that even if he got a small blessing, it would immediately be consumed by an unexpected bill or emergency. But I declare today, the chains are snapped. The limitations imposed by the ritual of yesterday are rendered null, void, and powerless by the superior authority of my shed blood and my declared word. I am initiating a massive spiritual debt cancellation in your son's life right now. I command the angels of financial breakthrough, the very ministers of wealth transfer, to move swiftly on his behalf. They are not merely going to stop the attack, they are going to reverse the flow. Every energy that was directed to hold him back is now being turned into a gravitational pull for abundance. The 7-day financial reversal. I am giving you a prophetic window of 7 days to witness the first undeniable sign of this financial curse breaking. In this week, watch for an unexpected inflow of capital or a debt suddenly disappearing, a phone call or email regarding an opportunity that was previously dormant, a sudden divine idea that becomes a blueprint for wealth creation, the exact item or service he needs being provided at zero cost. This immediate financial shift will serve as the physical proof that the occult ritual of yesterday was a complete failure. The enemy thought he was creating lack. I am using his failed attempt to launch a surplus. Your son is not destined for the grind. He is destined for the grace of effortless abundance. The blessing I place upon him will make him rich, and I add no sorrow to it. His success will be so visible, so powerful, and so instantaneous that the perpetrators who commissioned the black magic will know their dark lord has been exposed as weak and defeated. Their envy will turn into ashes as they witness his elevation. I need you to participate in this liberation now. Your faith-filled decree activates the final phase of this financial turnaround. Speak this truth over your son's wallet, his business, and his hands. He is a lender, not a borrower. He is the head, not the tail. Affirm your faith and accept this irreversible financial freedom. Write "Money Manifest Now" in the comments to seal this breakthrough. And if you are serious about accelerating this generational financial miracle and supporting this urgent message, plant a super thank of $100 as a seed of activation and gratitude. The time to sow into your harvest is now. The restoration of health and mind, divine intervention to reverse the physical and psychological effects of the evil spell. You saw the unnatural fatigue, the sudden aches, and the dark cloud hovering over his mind. I tell you now, that was not random stress. It was the poison of the ritual seeking a host. But my healing power is flooding his body right now. I am the Lord Rofika, your healer and your restorer. The malicious people who performed that ritual yesterday knew that if they could not block your son's money, they would try to steal his vitality and his peace. Black magic often targets the physical body and the mind, because a broken body and a confused mind make it impossible to seize destiny. I have seen the specific, subtle ways the enemy attempted to manifest this curse in his health and psychological state. 1. The assault on vitality. They targeted his energy centers, attempting to bring on an uncharacteristic, draining fatigue that no amount of rest could cure. This was designed to immobilize him, to make him too exhausted to pursue the opportunities I was sending. If you have noticed sudden, sharp pains, chronic low energy, or recurring mysterious minor illnesses that doctors cannot fully diagnose, recognize it as the spiritual residue of the attack. They tried to make his body a spiritual prison. 2. The weapon of anxiety and fear. The darkest part of the ritual was the psychological warfare. They released a spirit of profound anxiety, designed to replace his faith with panic. This is why he may have felt moments of sudden, irrational fear, vivid, distressing nightmares, or a constant sense of impending doom. The enemy wanted to distort his perception, making the blessings look like burdens and the path to destiny look like a dangerous trap. They sought to steal his joy, for they know that joy is his strength. 3. The curse of isolation and mental fog. They attempted to sever his mental connection to me and to you, his protector. This is the mental fog that makes decision-making impossible and creates a profound sense of loneliness, even when he is surrounded by loved ones. They desired to place a dark veil over his spirit, so he could not perceive the truth, the love, or the breakthrough right in front of him. But I declare, from the highest heaven, this is over. The power of the ritual to inflict sickness and torment is broken by the stripes I bore and the sacrifice I made. My angels of healing are not just standing guard. They are actively performing a divine surgical procedure on his spirit, soul, and body. Hear the prophecy of restoration. For his body, the spirit of chronic fatigue is being instantly ejected. The pain is dissolving. Every cell in his body is now receiving an infusion of divine, vibrant health. I am commanding his energy and vitality to return to a state of supernatural readiness. He will wake up in the morning feeling a strength he has not felt in years, a clear sign that the healing has manifested. For his mind, I am sending the Prince of Peace to reign supreme over his thoughts. Every stronghold of anxiety, fear, and panic is being dismantled. The nightmares are vanishing. I am replacing the mental fog with the clarity of my prophetic vision. His mind is becoming a sharp, precise instrument for receiving my strategies and executing my plans for his wealth and purpose. For his soul, the enemy's attempt at isolation is crushed. I am restoring his joy. I am commanding a wave of deep, restful shalom, peace that surpasses all human understanding, to saturate his being. He will know, without a shadow of a doubt, that he is loved, protected, and destined for triumph. This is your moment of confirmation. The restoration of his health and mind is the final seal that the black magic ritual of yesterday has not just been stopped, but has been completely reversed. Your son is now free to walk in the fullness of his mental capacity and physical strength, ready to receive the immense financial and relational blessings I have prepared. Do not be passive with this powerful word. Share this message now, so that every other parent under attack can access this divine assurance. Your share is a spiritual act of war against the kingdom of darkness, multiplying the effect of this deliverance. Claim this total restoration and protection. Write "My son is free and healed" in the comments, and share this video immediately to spread this life-saving prophecy. If you feel the immediate shift of peace and want to plant a powerful seed into this word of healing and protection, seal your promise with a super thank of $100 and watch the miracle manifest. Prophetic timing and the 72-hour window. Why immediate action is critical and God's promise for the next 3 days. The enemy sets a timeline for devastation, but I set a timeline for divine reversal. Listen to the urgency in my voice, for the next 72 hours are the most critical spiritual window for your family. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the master of time itself. When I revealed to you that the black magic ritual was performed just yesterday, it was not a detail for history, but a crucial instruction for your immediate, focused spiritual action. The dark forces operate on cycles and schedule. A major spell, such as the one targeting your sun, requires a short-term period for the curse to fully embed itself and begin its manifestation. They planned for this to happen subtly over the next few weeks, but I have compressed their schedule into a 72-hour window of opportunity for total victory. The enemy's intended 72-hour trap, the first 3 days after a major dark ritual, are often designed to be a period of maximum vulnerability. The enemy's expectation was that in the next 72 hours, your sun would experience 1. Maximum mental oppression, a peak in the anxiety, fear, and confusion I spoke of, leading him to make a major self-sabotaging mistake, financial, relational, or career-related. 2. Physical weakness, the most intense manifestation of unexplained fatigue or sudden illness, forcing him to be incapacitated and unable to fight back. 3. The seed of doubt. The enemy hoped to sow a deep root of doubt in your heart. Doubt in my protection, doubt in your authority, and doubt in your son's destiny. If he could make you doubt, he could claim a victory without a single physical attack. My prophetic 72-hour counter-promise. I have decreed that the next 3 days will instead be a period of accelerated divine manifestation. This is my ultimatum to the darkness. The 72 hours they planned for devastation will become the 72 hours of your undeniable breakthrough. Hour 124, the revelation and restoration, the immediate confirmation of the angelic counterattack. You will see a sudden, marked return of clarity and peace in your son. A deep sleep, a sudden burst of energy, or an unsolicited word of encouragement he receives will confirm that the mental and health aspects of the curse are entirely dissolved. The first layer of the shield is sealed. Hour 25 to 48, the exposure and reversal. I will begin to expose the hidden mechanisms of the attack. You might receive an unusual piece of information, a name or a confirmation that brings clarity to who or what was behind the treason. More importantly, the financial reversal will begin. Watch for a debt relief, an old source of income reactivated, or a significant positive shift in his work or business situation. Hour 49 to 72, the irreversible seal and launch. By the third day, the victory will be sealed. I will finalize the cleansing of your family line from this curse, and your son will receive a clear, tangible confirmation of his destiny, a sign, a call, or a major opportunity that confirms his launch into a new era of purpose and prosperity. The defeat of the enemy will be complete and irreversible. Why immediate action is critical. Your faith must match my speed. You must maintain maximum spiritual intensity during these 72 hours. Every word of confession, every prayer of intercession, and every act of faith you perform in this short window amplifies the angelic action by 1,000-fold. Do not let one moment of this sacred window be hijacked by fear, worry, or distraction. This is a time for relentless declaration of victory. I have given you the exact time of the attack, yesterday, and the exact window of defense, the next 72 hours. This is a precise strategy from the high command of heaven. Stand firm. Declare that the curse has no more time. The darkness is on a countdown to defeat. I am calling you to stand with me, shoulder to shoulder, in this 3-day spiritual battle. Do not look at the storm. Look at the promise that I, the Lord of hosts, have given you. Your son's life is about to shift from a season of siege to a season of spectacular success. I need you to confirm your active participation in this 72-hour window of breakthrough. Your faith is the final element that binds this prophetic word. Write 72 hours of victory in the comments to seal this accelerated turnaround. And if you are ready to invest in this prophetic mandate and activate the financial portion of this promise immediately, plant a super thank of $100 and declare your faith in this urgent word. The covenant of the Father, activating the ancestral promise of protection that Satan cannot break. This attack did not begin with your son, and the protection does not begin with you. I command you to look backward now, to the generations that came before you, for the strength of their faith is the wall that is standing guard today. I am the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I am the God of the generations, and my promises are not temporary agreements. They are eternal covenants woven through the very fabric of your bloodline. The black magic ritual performed yesterday attempted to strike your son as an individual, but I declare that this attack is failing because it has slammed into an ancestral shield established by the faith of the fathers and mothers who walked before you. The enemy, in his foolish pride, believes he can break a single person, but he forgot that your son is not standing alone. He stands on the rich foundation of covenantal blessing that was purchased and sealed through the faithfulness of your ancestors, the power of your covenant. When your ancestors dedicated themselves to me, when they cried out to me in their own dark nights, when they sowed seeds of faith in their poverty, and when they refused to curse me in their affliction, they were not just securing their own salvation, they were depositing a spiritual inheritance of protection and prosperity for every generation that would follow, including your son. The black magic sought to exploit any unresolved iniquity or weakness in your line, using it as a doorway for the curse. But I am the Redeemer. The moment you received this prophetic word and began to stand in the authority of my Son, you activated the blood covenant that instantly cleanses and overrides every past mistake, every generational curse, and every dark legal right the enemy might claim through history. The rituals lie. They wanted to make your son feel like a victim of generational failure, carrying burdens that were not his own. My covenant's truth, I declare him a beneficiary of generational victory, protected by the prayers and sacrifices of your entire righteous lineage. The attack yesterday was not a fight between a demon and a boy. It was a confrontation between a dark, temporary ritual and an eternal, unbreakable contract I signed with your family long ago. My contract wins. My promise prevails. The activation point. Standing in the gap. Your current role is to stand in the gap and verbally connect your son to this covenant of the Father. You are the spiritual bridge between the faith of the past and the destiny of the future. When you speak my name over him, you are calling upon the spiritual assets and the accrued divine favor of every generation that was faithful to me. This is why the black magic will dissipate without effect. The evil forces cannot touch him without first crossing the fire established by a covenant signed in ages past. The ritualistic fire they lit is nothing compared to the covenant fire that surrounds your son. Therefore, do not let your focus be on the attackers or their methods. Let your gaze be fixed on the generational blessing I am pouring out. Your son's breakthrough, the financial miracle, the health restoration, and the clear destiny is not just his victory. It is the redemption of your entire family line. He is the point of acceleration, the one through whom I am canceling all residual debt and releasing all pent-up blessing from the past. Rest assured, the battle is settled. The enemy's attempts to use history against you have failed. The covenant of the Father is activated, and your son is covered by an invisible, ancient, yet fiercely powerful shield of faith. The devil cannot break this covenant. I need you to declare this ancestral protection right now. Let the demons hear your voice, resonating with the authority of your lineage and the power of my promise. Write covenant power activated in the comments to seal the generational shield over your son. And as a sign of your faith in this ancient, unbroken promise, if this word resonates with the deepest level of your spiritual commitment, honor this covenant by planting a super thank of $100 to confirm your family's inheritance of immediate supernatural protection and prosperity. The revelation of the hidden traps, God exposing future schemes and spiritual ambush points set by the enemy. Do not be content with merely defending the present. I am not just the God of the counterattack. I am the God of foresight. I am now opening your spiritual eyes to see and dismantle the enemy's future traps against your son. I am the Lord who reveals secrets, and I refuse to let my children walk blindly into ambushes. The dark forces are systematic. They do not simply attack once and retreat. The black magic ritual performed yesterday was only the first phase of a long-term strategy designed to trip up your son after his breakthrough. The enemy assumes that once the immediate danger passes, you will let down your guard. But I am giving you a prophetic blueprint of the enemy's future schemes. I am empowering you not only to extinguish the fire of yesterday's curse, but to prevent the fires of tomorrow. I want you to be aware of the next 3 spiritual ambush points the enemy has already prepared for your son, which he plans to activate once his financial miracle manifests. 1. The trap of distraction through prosperity. The enemy knows that if he cannot stop the money, he will try to corrupt the destination. His plan is to bombard your son with sudden, excessive offers of worldly distraction, temptations of pride, misuse of resources, and relationships designed to drain his spiritual strength. The hidden trap is to make him so focused on the blessing that he forgets the blesser. I am giving you the vision now so you can pray specifically for your son's spiritual discipline and humility during his season of wealth. The greater the blessing, the greater the need for spiritual vigilance. 2. The snare of the treacherous alliance. I warned you about the spirit of treason. After the immediate perpetrators fail and retreat, the enemy will send a new wave of disguised adversaries. These will be spiritual lookalikes, people who appear helpful, prophetic, or financially savvy, but who are secretly positioned to introduce compromise, bad counsel, or legal trouble designed to steal the harvest. I command you to teach your son discernment. Tell him to be extremely cautious of sudden, over-eager partnerships. His protection lies in his prayer life, not in his networking skills. 3. The ambush of the relational wound. Since the enemy failed to create discord in your immediate family yesterday, his next move will be a targeted attack on your son's future spouse or key long-term relationship. The plan is to wound him through a close, intimate betrayal or conflict that causes him to retreat from love and partnership, thereby hindering his future family legacy. The enemy seeks to isolate him in his victory. I reveal this to you so you can begin praying now for the divine protection, clarity, and righteousness of the life partner I have already ordained for him. I reveal these traps not to frighten you, but to equip you with the sword of preparedness. Spiritual warfare is not just about reacting to fire. It is about preemptively dismantling the arsonist's tool. By knowing the enemy's long-term plan, you can begin to pray ahead, neutralizing the future curse with the present power of my word. Your son is not destined to be a victim of success. He is destined to be a wise and powerful steward of the incredible wealth and influence I am about to release. The darkness thought it had planned his downfall. I have now turned that plan into a detailed map for his elevation and longevity. I want you to use the power of your social reach to share this warning with other families who may be facing similar attacks, known and unknown. Your act of sharing is a declaration of warfare, releasing this revelatory power into the lives of others. Do not hoard this blessing. Multiply it by releasing it. Claim this future protection and commit to praying strategically over your son's next season. Write "future traps destroyed" in the comments right now to cancel the enemy's long-term scheme. And if this detailed revelation has cemented your faith in my divine power, demonstrate your partnership in this ministry by planting a generous super thank of $100 and help us reach more people with this urgent, life-saving prophecy. The shift of authority, receiving the keys to spiritual dominance over every evil altar erected against your home. You are no longer an observer of this battle. You are the general I have appointed over your household. I am placing the keys of absolute spiritual dominance into your hand right now. I am the King of Glory, and all authority in heaven and on earth belongs to me. The black magic ritual of yesterday, which dared to name your son, was an act of usurping authority. The perpetrators attempted to establish a demonic altar, a point of spiritual jurisdiction, over your family's destiny. They believed that by performing the ritual, they were legally binding your son to their dark will. But I am here to tell you that their jurisdiction is canceled, revoked, and eternally nullified. I am performing an immediate and total shift of authority in the spiritual realm over your life and your son's life. Understanding the keys of dominion. The keys I give you are not for defense, they are for dominance. They give you the legal and spiritual right to 1. Dismantle the altar. Every physical object, every verbal incantation, and every evil intention used in yesterday's ritual has established a symbolic altar in the spirit. I give you the authority to command the total dismantling of these altars. They must crumble to dust. The demonic entities assigned to enforce that ritual must be evicted permanently from your son's sphere of influence, his school, his work, his friendships, and his future path. You are not asking them to leave. You are commanding their exile by my supreme authority. 2. Establish the divine boundary. I empower you to declare a sacred perimeter around your home and your son, defined by the shed blood and the fire of the Holy Spirit. This perimeter is not just a shield, it is a wall of judgment. If any dark entity attempts to cross it, they are instantly subject to my divine penalty. They have no rights, no access, and no jurisdiction over my consecrated property. 3. Transfer the spiritual deed. Through your faith, I am transferring the spiritual deed of ownership of your son's destiny entirely back to the kingdom of light. The enemy had his temporary, ill-gotten claim. Now, that claim is broken by the covenant I established. You are the legal representative who must stamp this deed with your faith-filled declaration. You must verbally renounce every dark claim, every demonic contract, and every lie spoken over his life. This shift means you must change the way you pray and speak. You no longer pray for deliverance. You pray from the position of deliverance. You are no longer fighting to get the victory. You are enforcing the victory that has already been won at the cross and confirmed by the immediate angelic counterattack. The black magic ritual was a declaration of war against your son's kingship, the royal identity I have placed within him. The keys I give you restore his crown. They affirm that he is destined to rule and reign in the financial, professional, and spiritual spheres I have appointed for him. His authority will be so strong that the dark forces will scatter at the mere mention of his name, because they will recognize the divine authority radiating from him. Your final act of spiritual dominion in this moment is to claim your position. Stand up, put your hand over your heart, and declare that you accept the keys of dominion over your house. The immediate defeat of yesterday's darkness is your evidence that you are seated with me in heavenly places, far above all principalities and powers. I need you to show me that you are accepting this shift in spiritual authority. Your declaration is the final judicial confirmation of the enemy's defeat. Write, "I am the commander," in the comments to claim your keys and activate your dominance over every evil altar. And if you are ready to invest in this new era of spiritual authority and ensure this message of dominion reaches every parent under attack, share this video widely and plant a super thank of $100 to seal your family's absolute and irreversible triumph. The financial breakthrough of liberation, the miracle transfer of wealth, promised as a sign of Satan's defeat. Yesterday, the enemy aimed a curse at your son's wallet. Today, I am aiming a miracle at his bank account. This is the hour of the great financial exchange. I am the Lord who makes rich and adds no sorrow. The core intent of the black magic ritual was financial castration. to prevent your son from ever accessing the vast resources required for his divine assignment. They knew that his destiny involves funding kingdom projects, creating generational legacy, and establishing a powerful platform of influence. They tried to use the curse to install a permanent ceiling of lack over his finance. But I declare now, with the thunder of my authority, that the curse of yesterday is now the catalyst for breakthrough today. The attack has not only failed to stop the blessing, it has triggered a massive, supernatural financial transfer that will serve as the undeniable physical proof of Satan's complete defeat in this matter. The law of compensation, activated. In the heavenly courts, a specific legal and spiritual process has been activated because of the enemy's transgression. The law of compensation. 1. The fine. The enemy is not only forced to relinquish his claim on your son's destiny, but he is required to pay a severe penalty for the illegal trespass. A fine that will be transferred directly to your son's account. This is the miracle of retribution. 2. The multiplied restoration. For every hour of sleep the enemy stole, every opportunity he delayed, and every penny he tried to block, I am commanding a sevenfold, immediate restoration. The financial ceiling is not just being removed, it is being shattered, replaced with an open heaven of abundance. 3. The unprecedented flow. Your son is about to witness financial favor that defies logic and natural explanation. This will not be slow, incremental growth. I am sending a sudden, substantial influx of resources, a debt canceled in full, an unexpected windfall, a major contract signed with ease, or a lucrative opportunity materializing out of nowhere. This is the financial breakthrough of liberation, proof that the chains of black magic are not merely broken, but dissolved entirely. This miracle is not simply about money. It is a sign of spiritual victory. When this large, undeniable sum of wealth lands in your son's life, it will be the physical testimony that the God of your covenant is mightier than any occult power. The people who performed that ritual will be forced to see the public evidence of their failure. The shame they planned for you will fall upon their own heads. Your role in receiving this transfer. To receive this accelerated transfer, your son, and you, as his spiritual covering, must make room for it. This involves 3 critical actions. Cancel the lack mindset. Renounce every last thought of poverty, debt, or scarcity. Speak wealth, surplus, and influence over his life. Prepare the ground for generosity. Understand that this miracle is for more than consumption. It is for contribution. I am giving him wealth to be a blessing to others. Prepare his heart to be a powerful, faithful steward. Declare the divine timing. Affirm that this breakthrough is happening now. In this 72-hour window, I prophesied, as an act of immediate divine response to the black magic. The financial attack of yesterday was the most foolish decision the enemy ever made, for he merely signed the order for your son's elevation and abundance. The funds are being moved in the heavenly sphere, and the manifestation is imminent. Prepare for the transfer. I need you to anchor this financial prophecy now and claim your son's prosperity. Your declaration must be loud and clear, echoing into the courts of heaven and the realms of darkness. Write, "The wealth is transferred now" in the comments to seal this miracle. Share this powerful revelation widely so others can witness this immediate financial justice. And if you are ready to demonstrate maximum faith in the imminent transfer, plant a generous super thank of $100 right now to activate the speed of this breakthrough in your own life. A new era for the son prophecy over his destiny, the calling and divine purpose that the enemy tried to silence. The darkness of yesterday tried to write an obituary for his future, but I am the author of life. I am speaking a fresh, irreversible prophecy over your son's destiny right now. I am the one who formed him in the womb, and I know the plans I have for him, plans for welfare and not for evil, to give him a future and a hope. The true target of the black magic ritual was not his money or his mind, but his divine purpose. The enemy knew that if your son walked fully into his calling, it would shatter the Dark Kingdom's power in your entire region. They tried to silence the voice of the prophet, the hand of the innovator, and the heart of the leader I placed within him. But I have turned the enemy's attempt at suppression into a prophetic launchpad. The curse has been broken, and now I am releasing the full, unadulterated blueprint of his next era. Hear the prophecy of his launch. 1. The crown of clarity and vision. Where the enemy sowed confusion, I am planting an incredible clarity of vision. Your son will not stumble through life trying to find his purpose. He will walk with an undeniable laser-like focus. He will receive strategies and ideas in his sleep that are years ahead of the current market or industry. He will be known as a visionary whose path is illuminated by my presence and whose every move is directed by my spirit. The darkness cannot blind him anymore. 2. The mantle of generational leadership. He is not destined to be an employee or merely a survivor. I am clothing him with a mantle of leadership that extends far beyond his immediate field. He will be a bridge builder, a generational game changer who uses the wealth I am transferring to him to empower others. His influence will not be fleeting, it will be permanent and systemic, establishing new standards of righteousness and success in his chosen arena. The enemy tried to make him small. I am making him monumental. 3. The voice of authority and influence. I am releasing a powerful anointing upon his voice. When he speaks, people will listen. His words will carry weight, conviction, and divine insight. I will use him to counsel, to guide, and to speak truth into powerful places. The silence the black magic tried to impose will be replaced by a loud, clear, and prophetic declaration that shifts atmospheres and breaks strongholds. His career is not just a job, it is a pulpit of influence. 4. The shield of unbreakable joy. The enemy tried to steal his joy, knowing that joy is the spiritual lubricant of destiny. I declare that his heart is now sealed with a perpetual, unbreakable joy. This joy will be his greatest weapon, causing the forces of darkness to flee instantly. His life will be a constant, visible testimony that serving me leads to profound, satisfying, and influential success. The attack yesterday was a foolish investment by the kingdom of darkness. They bought a front-row seat to your son's greatest season. This new era for him is not a possibility. It is a divine mandate that is now being executed. The financial breakthrough is merely the resource. The destiny is the reason. Stand with me and align your heart with this profound destiny. You must now see him not as the person the curse was aimed at, but as the mighty man of purpose I have called him to be. Speak to his destiny. Call forth his future. I need you to declare this destiny and release him fully into this new era. Your shared faith is the final wind beneath his wings. Write "new era" activated in the comments to seal this irreversible prophecy over your son. Share this powerful word now with anyone who needs to be reminded that the devil cannot abort destiny. And to demonstrate your profound gratitude for this clear roadmap to his future, and to support the spreading of this truth, plant a super thank of $100 and watch his divine purpose accelerate. The judgment on the conspirators, a prophetic word on the reversal of the curse and the immediate consequence for the attackers. I am the great judge of the universe. The silence is broken. The court is convened, and I declare the verdict. The evil planned against your son is immediately returning to the source. I, the righteous judge, have been patient, allowing the enemy to believe his schemes had merit. But now, the time for divine intervention is complete, and the time for divine judgment has arrived. The black magic ritual performed yesterday was not only an attack on your son, it was a cosmic insult against my authority, and there is a mandatory consequence for spiritual treason. The wicked ones who commissioned and performed that ritual The ones driven by the spirit of envy and treason I revealed will now face the irreversible reversal of their own curse. The reversal of the curse, my divine law of retribution. Do not confuse this with human revenge. This is perfect justice, administered by my hand. I have a spiritual law, a fixed principle of the universe. What you sow, you shall reap. The negative spiritual energy they released must now return to its origin, not in the measure they sent, but multiplied by sevenfold, according to my ancient decrees of protection for the innocent. This judgment will manifest in three powerful, undeniable ways that will serve as the final confirmation of your son's absolute deliverance. 1. The exposure of the hidden hand. The cloak of secrecy they relied upon is being ripped away. The truth about their malice and their actions is about to come to light. This may happen through a sudden, unguarded confession, an accidental discovery, or an overwhelming compulsion that forces them to reveal their own guilt. Their reputation, which they desperately guarded, will be stripped bare. They will know they are being judged by a power far greater than the one they served. 2. The loss of their dark authority. Every spiritual power they gained or accessed through the black magic ritual of yesterday is now being revoked. The demonic entities they sought to control are now turning against them. Their power over others will dissolve. The source of their temporary influence will dry up, making them weak, exposed, and vulnerable to the very anxieties and limitations they tried to inflict upon your son. 3. The sudden manifestation of the blocked lack. The financial lack and confusion they attempted to transfer to your son are now being returned to their own lives with immediate and undeniable force. They will experience the sudden loss, the unexpected expense, or the severe anxiety they wished upon your household. They will reap a harvest of the emptiness they sowed. This consequence is not for their destruction, but for their repentance, though few are humble enough to accept the lesson. I share this with you so you can pray from a place of rest and certainty, knowing that you do not need to fight this specific battle. The battle of justice is mine alone. Your focus must remain on the celebration of your son's deliverance and the stewardship of the financial blessing I am now pouring out. Let this prophetic word be the final dismissal of all fear and all concern about the attackers. They are no longer a threat. Their spiritual operation has been shut down. Their ritual has backfired, and their judgment is sealed. Your son is free, and his freedom is secured by the irreversible hand of my justice. I need you to confirm your absolute faith in my judgment and justice. Your acceptance seals the reversal of the curse. Right justice prevails in the comments to seal the judgment on the conspirators. And if you are ready to acknowledge and support the divine intervention that brought this immediate retribution and liberation, share this video right now and plant a generous super thank of $100 as a seed of obedience to the law of divine justice and multiplication. Sealing the victory, the final divine act to cleanse your family tree and establish an eternal shield of fire. The battle is won, the curse is reversed, and the enemy is judged. But I do not just offer temporary relief, I offer permanent, covenantal security. I am executing the final divine act of cleansing and sealing your victory forever. I am the Lord who finishes what he starts. The black magic ritual performed yesterday was an attempt to inject spiritual poison into your current reality, but also to leave a residue of compromise in your family's spiritual DNA, a loophole for future attacks. The enemy sought to use this ritual as a permanent mark of vulnerability. I declare now, no residue remains. I am sending a final, overwhelming wave of my holy fire to cleanse, purify, and establish an eternal shield that will protect your son and your bloodline for generations to come. The divine cleansing of the lineage. This is the final, essential step of liberation. It goes deeper than merely canceling the current curse. 1. The burning away of all residue, every shadow, every psychic trace, and every demonic attachment that the black magic attempted to leave behind is now being consumed by the holy fire. This is a spiritual scouring that ensures absolute purity. Your son's energy field, his home, and his belongings are being saturated with my presence, making them hostile territory for any lingering darkness. 2. The closing of every door. I am permanently closing every past spiritual door that any generational sin, negligence, or lack of knowledge might have opened. The enemy's access points are now bolted shut by the authority of my son's name. The black magic ritual's failure means that no similar attack, through similar means, can ever gain ground against your family again. The generational loophole is sealed forever. 3. The establishment of the Shield of Fire. I am activating a permanent, eternal shield of fire around your son's life and destiny. This is a proactive, unceasing defense that operates 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This fire is not passive. It automatically repels, incinerates, and judges any new dark force that approaches. This shield is visible in the spirit realm, a warning sign to every principality and power that your son is off limits, my protected property. This means that your son is now walking in a new reality, a reality of untouchable favor. The victory over the attack of yesterday is not just an event. It is the foundation for a new life built on total security and guaranteed favor. You will no longer live in fear of what the enemy might do. You will live in the absolute confidence of what your God has already done and will forever sustain. The financial breakthrough I prophesied will land in a clean and protected environment. The success of his new era will be secure and stable. His life will be a constant testimony to the world that when I deliver completely and permanently. This is my faithfulness in action. Your part in this final act is to rest in my sovereignty. Stop fighting and start trusting. The work is finished. The victory is sealed. The enemy's defeat is final. I need you to confirm your absolute acceptance of this eternal security and protection. This final word seals the covenant. Write "sealed forever" in the comments to anchor this permanent shield of fire over your son. Share this victory message now to declare my power to the world. And if you feel the depth of this eternal security and want to honor this unbreakable promise, plant a super thank of $100 to confirm your family's permanent protection and prosperity. The eternal declaration, your unshakable faith, and the mandate to walk in total, irreversible freedom and prosperity. This is not just the end of the curse. This is the beginning of a life lived in supernatural authority. I command you now to step into your new reality of total, irreversible freedom. I am your God, and I brought you through the fire of the urgent warning, the heat of the spiritual battle, and the triumph of the divine reversal. I exposed the black magic ritual performed yesterday. I mobilized the angelic counterattack. I secured your son's financial breakthrough, and I sealed your family's protection forever. Now, I give you the final command. Walk in the victory. Your son is not merely delivered, he is recommissioned. He has been upgraded by the intensity of the battle. The enemy intended to bury him, but I used the darkness to reveal his destiny and accelerate his launch into unprecedented prosperity and purpose. This is the eternal declaration I make over him and over your house. He is free, he is rich, and he is untouchable. The true power of this victory lies not in the event of the curse breaking, but in your unshakable faith in my finished work. The enemy's last, desperate tactic is to send lingering spirits of doubt, trying to make you look back at the fear of yesterday. I forbid it. You must not allow the memory of the attack to steal the joy of the triumph. The mandate for your new era. To maintain this irreversible freedom and prosperity, you must embrace this triple mandate. 1. Walk in total freedom, rejecting fear. Your son must never again live under the shadow of what might happen. The spiritual bondage of the black magic is broken. When fear tries to whisper a lie, he must immediately shut it down with a loud declaration of his deliverance. His confidence in his future is now his most potent weapon. 2. Steward your prosperity, honoring the transfer. The massive financial breakthrough I promised is coming, not just for comfort, but as a tool for his divine purpose. He must honor the source of this wealth. When the money arrives, it is a testament to my power, not his luck. Generosity must become his spiritual habit, ensuring the flow of wealth never stops. He must be a lender to nation, not a consumer of temporary pleasures. 3. Declare the testimony, multiplying the blessing. The defeat of the black magic ritual and the subsequent breakthroughs in his health, mind, and finances must become your family's most powerful testimony. You must speak about this miracle often. Every time you declare what I did, how I exposed the enemy and reversed the curse, you reinforce the eternal shield and release faith into the lives of others who are still fighting. Your faith is not an emotion. It is a spiritual force that upholds the angelic shield. I have performed my part with immediate, overwhelming power. Now, your consistent, unwavering belief in the truth of my word seals this freedom for eternity. The dark forces have received their final notice. Your son is mine, and his destiny will be fulfilled. Stand firm in this declaration. Your season of anxiety is over. Your time of breakthrough is here. Your son is secured in a life of prosperity, peace, and divine purpose, thanks to the swiftness of your response and the supremacy of my power. I need you to declare your acceptance of this total, irreversible victory and commit to walking in this new reality. Your final declaration seals the entire journey of deliverance and launch. Write "I am totally free" in the comments right now to confirm your faith in this total victory. And if you feel the powerful weight of this irreversible promise and want to honor the conclusion of this prophecy and ensure its continuous reach to those in urgent need, plant a final, victorious super thank of $100 to seal your family's total freedom and eternal prosperity. The conclusion, the final command. The Lord asked me to deliver this message urgently, and the divine assignment is complete. You have been given a terrifying warning, a precise strategy, and a glorious promise. The black magic ritual of yesterday, aimed at the heart of your son's destiny, is now nothing more than a defeated memory. You have witnessed the deployment of the archangels, the breaking of financial chains, the restoration of health, and the sealing of your family line by fire. The 72-hour window of victory is still active, accelerating your son's financial and destiny breakthrough. Do not look back at the enemy's empty threats. Look forward to the new era I have just launched over his life. This is your final, mandatory action. Do not keep this message of power and protection to yourself. The enemy thrives in silence. Your testimony dismantles his kingdom. If this word touched your heart, saved your child, and secured your family's future, share this video immediately to ensure more parents receive this urgent, life-saving prophecy. Subscribe to this channel now to lock in your daily access to my prophetic voice and ongoing protection. The Lord has spoken. The curse is broken. The victory is sealed. Go and walk in your wealth and freedom.